Okay, there's gonna be like 30 different caveats to this video because I have not too much to say about Blue Lock itself, but a lot to say about the concept of Blue Lock, if that makes sense. The first time I was ever introduced to Blue Lock was on Twitter. And when I saw it, I didn't know that it was about soccer. Now, you might be thinking that's ridiculous. Blue Lock is literally all about soccer. That's the only thing that happens in the show. How on God's green earth did you not realize it was about soccer? Let me tell you. When I see it on Twitter, I don't see them playing soccer. I don't even see them in the soccer uniform, really. I see them in the Blue Lock uniforms that, come on now. Those things look like, they look like the Kaiju number 8 suits, if you know what I'm talking about. I'll probably put it up on screen somewhere, where it's like they're skin tight and they look all cool and they look like you're ready to jump into a mech or something. I see them in these suits, and I see them, and their eyes look like Renegon. Like they look insane, and there's aura coming off of them, and they look crazy. And I was so hype. I see these screenshots on Twitter. I'm like, this is probably gonna be, excuse me, this is probably gonna be one of the best animes ever. I'm gonna love it. The characters are gonna be all crazy because their eyes are all crazy and they have a bunch of aura and they look cool. And I'm gonna love this show. And then I read the actual Twitter thing instead of seeing the pictures and realized it was about soccer. Now, this is usually the part where like I'd tell you, don't get me wrong, I love soccer or whatever, whatever, but I'd be lying. I despise soccer, okay? I okay. This is another caveat. This video's half of it is just going to be me qualifying my opinions about Blue Lock. I pretty much hate every sport that doesn't include punching other people in the face. And even half of those sports I don't even like, okay? I never understood. I never got how people would sit there and go insane over a football game or a soccer game. Like people will actually fight other people, which is weird coming from a fighter, but I don't understand. Like let's put it like this, okay? When I'm sparring against another person, when I'm fighting another person, um I'm not even that mad at that person. I just, we're doing this for fun. This is a sport that we're playing, right? Even when I'm getting punched in the face, I don't care enough to actually hurt the other person. So it boggles my mind that, like, when another team scores a goal or something, people literally want to murder other people. I don't get that. All this to say, I'm not the biggest sports fan. I do practice Muay Thai kickboxing, and a teensy little bit of wrestling, even though I'm very, very bad at it. But that's pretty much it, and I can't even really watch those sports. Like the UFC, it's fun. I'll sit down and watch it sometimes. I like some of the fighters, but it's not like I'm sitting down and watching every UFC event. So there's that. I'm not the biggest sports fan, and especially soccer fan. I think soccer's pretty boring. Which takes me, and I promise, this isn't, I like the show, okay? This isn't gonna be a whole video about me, like, saying that Blue Lock is bad. But one of my gripes, one of my few gripes with the show that kind of takes me out of it is how seriously they take soccer. Like, it's life and death for these people. And it's like, the reason I got into the show was because my friend, Spaz, he put the show on for me. We watched the first 2 episodes, and I guess I'll give one of my positive points about the show now. The whole egoist thing, I love it. I love all that. Like the whole thing where you can tell by like my favorite characters being Vegeta or Asta. I guess Asta's not too much like that, but Sasuke's kind of like that. Where I love the whole thing of where like I'm the best and you guys are all garbage and I'm gonna be the star of the show. I love that energy. I wish I had it in real life. I don't. But I really, really like watching it. So we watched the first 2 episodes, and I really, really like that aspect of the show. So that's why I keep watching it. But anytime they take soccer, like one of the characters will be like, "We have to win this game." I'm going to die in order to risk this, in order to win this game. I would rather die than lose this next game. The characters in the show legitimately say these things. That is an insane thing to say. Okay, like I get that it's anime, and I get that the stakes need, like, we need to make it at least seem like the stakes are high, but the stakes aren't really that high. Like my friend, he was like, "Well, no, 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 no. The stakes are super high because if they lose here at Blue Lock, I understand that they won't ever be able to play at a national level and their dreams are basically dead." But when you put it into perspective, that's all that's happening here is that they can't play professional soccer anymore. It's not like they can still play soccer. They can even play for like their school teams and stuff like that. They just can't play national soccer anymore. That's it. Those are all the stakes in the show. There's nothing else at risk here. But these people, I guess maybe to an athlete, it's different. Like if somebody tells me I can never compete anymore, I might feel some type of way about it. But would I be willing to die in order to compete again? I don't think I would. Let's put it like this, okay? In the UFC, the sport where people actively, for all intents and purposes, try to kill each other. They try to hurt each other as much as possible. That's how you win in the UFC. In the UFC, I'm pretty sure everyone knows Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor was fighting, I think was it Dustin Poirier? It was either Dustin Poirier or it was Khabib. It was a very famous fighter. It was a fighter. Conor McGregor told the other fighter, I'm going to kill you, or you're gonna die in that ring, or whatever. Or he told him to, like, write your will or something. He said something to that effect. And the entire UFC community as a whole cringed at that comment because, like, it's very cringe. No one's gonna let another, well, reasonably so, no one's gonna let another person die in the UFC ring. That's not what we're there to do. You're just there to beat each other up, okay? Could somebody die theoretically? Yes, I'm pretty sure no one has died in the UFC ring. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that hasn't happened. Because as soon as you start beating up the other person a bit too much, they stop it. So in the UFC, where the whole sport is just violence, it's cringe to say, I'm gonna kill you or I'm gonna die for this. Then you could only imagine in soccer, where it's like all you're doing is kicking a ball around. It's like, I'm willing to die for this. It's like, Jesus Christ, dude, calm down. We're playing like tag. And it's so frustrating because sometimes there'll be like a really hype moment, you know? Like when the main character, I don't remember any of their names, okay? I have a tough time remembering people's names in real life. Anime character names are kind of hard for me sometimes. But when the main guy, the guy with really great spatial awareness, he's thinking all of his plans and he's like, I'm gonna make this goal, and it's all motivational. The music kicks in and his eyes go crazy. It's so cool and inspiring, and you're like getting goosebumps, but then you remember, or at least I remember, oh wait, they're just playing soccer. Like it doesn't really matter all that much, and it completely takes me out of it. But for those few minutes where I forget that all this is just kind of just soccer, it doesn't matter all that much, it is really hype when they make a goal or they win a game by a hair or whatever. It's really cool. I do like a lot of stuff about the show. Like the ego stuff is really cool. The whole thing where it's like, I want to be the best and fuck everyone else. This is my game and I'm going to be the best. Like those quotes that they take from real soccer players, do real soccer players actually say this stuff? I don't remember all that many quotes, but there was one where one guy said, some famous soccer player was like, oh, I don't care if the rest of my team, if we lose, as if I can pull off one hat trick and score a neat goal, I'm good. I don't care if we lose. I just want to look good. Like, okay, badass, like dope. I love that guy. The ego stuff is super, super cool. The like close games and stuff where it's like everything is super tense and stuff, I really like that stuff. Like I said, I get really into it until I remember it's soccer, but even then, they really know how to build suspense, especially for, it's really hard to build suspense for a sports anime, because for a fighting anime, like the stakes are there, people die if you lose. But for a sports anime, it's really hard to get people interested in winning or losing a game, or I guess not, because people are interested in that in real life. Okay, let me rephrase that. It's very hard to get me interested into people winning or losing a sports game, but they managed to do it a couple times, and that's really nice. And some of the characters are really, really cool. I'm gonna look up their names now, because I know I'm gonna get so much, it's like you're making a video on it and you don't know their names. It's like, okay, listen, I started watching it like 2 weeks ago. I only watch like 2 episodes a day sometimes when I'm doing a treadmill at the gym. Leave me alone. But I'm gonna look up their name. Okay, okay. So Isagi is the main guy. I already said he's super cool and he gets me really hyped. Whenever he does anything, it's really cool, I think. Who else? Rensuke? Ku- Kunigami. Is that what they call him in the show? Kunigami? Wow. Well, the guy with the orange hair. I like him. I usually like any character that's a over. How do I say this? Not overwhelmingly, outstandingly a good person. If characters are good people, I usually like it. I tend not to like it when characters are pieces of shit, which is kind of why I don't like the Wataru guy, the guy that like slight spoilers for season 1 of Blue Lock, the guy that kind of like snaked the whole team just to score a few goals. I usually just I don't like it when characters are pieces of shit. That's why I didn't like Mahito. That's why what's another character that's a piece of shit that people like? I can't. Mahito is really the only example, like, because so many people liked Mahito. I don't understand that. Anyways, moving on. Another character that I really liked is Bachira, the guy with the orange stuff in his hair. I'm pretty sure everyone likes him. I don't know anything about the community. He just seems like a character everyone would like. He's batshit. I love him because he's batshit. That's really the whole reason. Okay, and that's pretty much it. I just wanted to get my thoughts out on Blue Lock because it's like the first sports anime I've ever watched. Yeah, pretty much. Now that I've watched the sports anime, I might watch others. Or, okay, others is a strong word. I might watch Haiku because I've heard really good things about it, like I have from Blue Lock. And Fly High, the OST, is amazing. I've listened to that song so many times. I originally thought it was a Dragon Ball song, but then I realized I don't know why I thought it was a Dragon Ball song, but it's a haiku song. Who would have thought? So for those two reasons alone, I might watch it after Blue Lock, and I know Blue Lock is getting a season 2, so I might talk about that. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me. I just wanted to rant about about how I like the soccer anime. So yeah, that's it from me. I hope you had a good morning. Oh, subscribe and like the video.